So the idea of this workshop is just to take you through a little bit about what virtual work experience is and how it can benefit you in your career path and in your career choices, and for boosting your CV as well. So I've just got a short PowerPoint slide here which will take you through a few slides to help you and just to show you the way, really. So by the end of this session, you will know what is meant by virtual work experience. You'll understand what the different types of work experience can include, the advantages and of course the disadvantages of virtual work experience, transferable skills and how doing a virtual work placement or a work experience placement can help you build these transferable skills, whereabouts you can look to find these opportunities. And at the end, very quickly, we'll have a question and answers, and you can, of course, always submit your questions on the forum. Okay, here we go. So what I'd like you to do is just spend a little bit of time, only a couple of minutes or so, thinking about what you understand virtual work experience to be. So I'm just going to go quiet for a little bit to give you a bit of thinking time. Okay, that's given you a little bit of time, not quite a couple of minutes, but you probably would have had a bit of a time to have a chat about it. So the definition of virtual work experience is that it provides an online or a remote or a digital opportunity to gain experience in the workplace, to develop skills, to boost your employability, and to explore new industries and job roles. So what types of virtual work experience can you expect? You've got pre-recorded videos, got virtual tours. This is when the employers will put things on their website or give you a link that you can have a look around their workplace virtually, or they might put some pre-recorded videos such as a day in the life of. Q&As might be a situation where you have an opportunity to answer and ask live questions and answers. There might be a bit of project work. They might ask you to analyse their website and write a little bit of report on it and get some feedback. They might try and give you some actual work-based projects and give you a time frame to do that and then to give you feedback on it as well. There may well just be regular online meetings with a supervisor. So you're doing your workplace project and then you'll be asked to check in with a supervisor every so often just to check your progress, to make sure that you're okay and to get a little bit of feedback as well. You could well be working as part of a team, or you might be working by yourself, and both of those will enhance your employability skills of teamwork and of course of learning to manage your own time and your self-organisation as well. Networking sessions, these could be a situation where you will get to meet other people within the organisation, again through a virtual means as well, so that you are starting to build your confidence at meeting other people and trying to find out about them, find out about their job roles, so that you again are getting more and more information about that industry and the kind of job roles that are within that as well. Could also be training opportunities. They may well say to you, we'd like you to have a go at training on this. It may well be a situation where they send you a little training program to do, or some online training as well. Could be some video tutorials. So lots and lots of different ways that you could undergo some virtual work experience. So what are the advantages? Well, there are quite a few advantages, which is really good. Organisations can offer work placements or work-based projects, as I mentioned before, online rather than face-to-face. This can be more flexible for you as well. You've got a bit more time. You don't have to travel into the workplace as well. You can gain work experience to build your own confidence, to develop some new skills, and to make yourself much more what's called work ready. So you are ready for that next stage of going into the workplace. You've got a better idea. It can be done by your school or college's video conferencing platform as well, something like Teams or Zoom. That's if you're going to complete your work, virtual work experience at your school's premises. Can be done in term time, but it could be across a number of different weeks, more suited to the school. So rather than just having the traditional 1 week in June or July, it may be a selection of days across several weeks as well. And that would be something that either your teacher or yourself would negotiate with the employer who's taking you on for this virtual work placement. There's more choice. You've got to think global. No more are you restricted to just working with local employers. The world, as they say, is your oyster. So you can think, and you can think much further afield as well. Hence, there might be more opportunities. There's no or very little cost, and that's something that your careers lead or your work experience coordinator would find out for you as well. It's future-proof. It's aligning to how many businesses are working nowadays. So many businesses have gone to home working, and this is just going to give you that edge as well to understand what it is like to work by yourself virtually as well. Also, it's a good opportunity to find out what is right or what isn't right for you as well. Really good, safe environment to see whether this is the career that you want or whether you go, oh my goodness, no way am I going to do that. So that's really quite important. So is it the job for you? And it can also give you, gain vital insights into the world of work, into the nature of home working, and also the discipline it needs. And it has taken quite a few people, quite a few months to get into that discipline of working from home. You're not just popping out every now and then. And it also does help you develop those vital networking skills. And if you keep your profile on LikeToBe up to date and keep making sure that it is very, very relevant, you can start to network out there as well through the employers that you meet today or in the future as well. So networking is absolutely vital. As they say, it's not just what you know, it is who you know as well. Really, really important. The disadvantages of working virtually and getting a virtual work experience placement. You don't get that experience of working in an office or at a workplace as well. And that can be a little bit of a disadvantage. You don't understand what it is like to go out to a workplace, understand the etiquette, what happens, who's there, etc. There's a lack of face-to-face interaction and the sociability, those meetings when you meet your colleagues before or after you do a project or before you do a meeting. So you don't have that little bit of chit-chat. So you can feel a little bit isolated as well, which, you know, when you are just starting out into the world of work can feel a little bit, you can feel a little bit vulnerable. So that would be up to the person, your employer, to try and have regular communication with you to make sure that you don't feel isolated. Can be technology barriers as well. You know, have you got a good internet access? Have you got the hardware that you need as well to be able to carry out these particular workplace assignments and virtual work experience as well? It may well be a situation where you know, you don't necessarily have the access to the software as well. So those kind of things can be a bit of a disadvantage. Lack of confidence, you know, it's really difficult sitting at home or sitting in your school and remoting in and trying to get on and do your day's work. So, you know, and it is very daunting. It's daunting when you go into the workplace, but it can be just as daunting if you're not going into the workplace as well. Communication issues. Where would you go for help as well? So that's why communication is even more important when you're working virtually. You do need to be more proactive as well. It can be really difficult to motivate yourself to actually sit down and get your work done without procrastinating or putting it off or thinking that other things are more important. So that's going to be something that you're really going to work on, is your self-discipline and your proactiveness and your self-organisation as well. So we've talked about transferable skills or skills, and these are the things that you will be looking to develop. They're a core set of skills and abilities which can be applied to a wide range of different jobs and careers. You pick these up over time. Don't just think that you will just know them instantly. It isn't. It is something that you continue to develop as you go through your school, your college, your university, your apprenticeship, your T-level, BTEC, whatever you choose to do, and into the workplace as well. And we are still learning. Even if you're at an advanced stage of your career, you are still learning and you are still developing those transferable skills Transferable because they can move from situation to situation. You can pick them up from your work experience, so that's why it's really important that when you do take some virtual work experience on, you make a note of all the things that you are learning so that you can then put those onto your CV and say, these are the skills that I'm learning. You can learn it from your school and your college life. Don't just think that you're not learning anything now. You are. Every day you will be learning something, whether it's how to work with somebody, could be dealing with a difficult person, it could be teamwork, it could be communication, you could be learning how to negotiate as well. So you are learning even at school, even at college. If you do any charity or voluntary work, or even if you do babysitting or dog walking, or any chores for anybody, and even in the home as well, you are learning these transferable skills. Time management, even getting yourself up ready to get a bus, getting yourself ready to go to school, that is a form of self-organization and a form of time management as well. May sound a little bit simple, but that's exactly what it is, and it's getting you that work ready. So have a think about what examples that there are. I've put them up here, probably just anticipated myself a little bit there. So I've mentioned some before. Communication, how you talk to other people. Teamwork, how you work with other people. Self-awareness, are you aware of the skills that you already have? Are you aware of how you communicate, how you work with other people? Resilience, a really big one, something that employers and universities are really hoping that young people are going to pick up. And in this COVID time, boy, are you learning resilience. You are learning that if you're being knocked down, to pick yourself back up and to get on and to learn from those particular experiences that you're going through at the moment. Leadership, can you develop your skills of leadership? Have you been in a situation where you have had to take the lead, where you've been the chief person in the situation as well? As we talked about, time management and self-organization, very important, especially if you're working from home. You need to make sure that you are planning your day, you're planning what you're doing, you are adhering to deadlines as well. Delegation, not just you can do this, this is you can give a task to someone else to do, but you make sure that you help them in the step of the way if they need to, or that you are there as a guide. You don't just give someone a task and then say, I don't want to hear from you again. And listening, really, really important that you have active listening, that you don't just go, yeah, you are actually listening to what people are saying, and you are understanding and the comprehension, and that feeds again into communication. So can you think of any others? Just give you again a few moments just to think about, can you think of any other transferable skills that you might have or you've admired in somebody else? Okay, well, hopefully you've got a few more there as well. But I just thought I'd share with you what the top 5 transferable skills are at the moment that employers have rated. So how many of these do you have, or that we've talked about as already? First one, creativity. Employers love people who can be creative. The phrase, can you think outside of the box? Can you be creative? Can you come up with something new? Very, very important skill that today's world is wanting. They are wanting that creativity. People skills. How do you interact with other people? Sometimes even more important when you're working from home, because you have got that barrier of the screen in front of you. So you have to make sure that your people skills are even more honed as well, to make sure that you are getting through that barrier of the screen. Adaptability or agility. How adaptable are you? Can you make sure that you can change from one situation to another situation? If somebody came up to you and said, yeah, I've told you that I want this project done, now I want you to work on this, don't worry about that. When you put the pressure on, how quickly can you adapt to new situations? Leadership, something important, something that again, takes a lot of work in as well. You may not have been put in that position at the moment, but that is a skill that employers are looking for. They think that is one of the top transferable skills. And finally, time management. How well can you plan to get things done? How well can you organize yourself? So where can you find some virtual work experience opportunities? Well, there are various mediums and various ways of doing this as well. And as I said before, because you're not restricted by locality, there are more opportunities out there, or there can be more opportunities out there. First of all, ask your friends and family, do they have any opportunities? Do they know of any employers? Do their own employers have any opportunities that you could tap into? Could you do something from home, to a workplace project for them as well? Friends and family, really good form of networking as well. Internet, great. Just go to the internet, put in virtual work experience, young person, see what comes up. Just be a little bit mindful of what you're finding, and always discuss it with your careers leader or with your work experience coordinator at school as well, just to make sure that it's safe and that it is a valid opportunity as well. Barclays Life Skills, they have a good section on virtual work experience about it, where you can find it as well. The Careers and Enterprise Company, and in fact I've got a list here of work experiences, and I've put it on the resources page of this workshop as well. And there's a whole list of companies there that can do virtual work experience, or where you can look. You could contact employers. Are there some employers out there that you really want to work for? Can you drop them an email to say, I really want to work for you, could I do some work experience for you? How about some of the employers that you're meeting today? Why don't you drop them a question in the forum? Have they got any virtual work experience as well? You know, again, it's building your self-confidence, and it is building your networking skills. And if there's a company or an industry out there that you're really interested in, then this is an ideal opportunity to see whether it is the job in the industry for you. Your careers department. So go and speak to your lovely careers coordinator or your work experience coordinator as well, and see whether they can give you any hints and tips. And last but not least, LikeToBe, us here in the team as well, we all have some work experience opportunities as well. And again, if you're using the profile and you're using our platform, that's a great opportunity for you to look for those virtual work experience and to get in contact with those companies as well. Can you think of anywhere else? Have a think about, maybe not now, but after this workshop, and discuss it maybe with your teacher, where else that you could potentially look for these virtual work experience opportunities. So just want to try and see whether there are any questions. If you are watching this on catch up, then you'll need to post them into the forum. Otherwise, I will be around to answer any questions, and again, put them on the forum. Okay, so any questions you can answer you can ask them on the forum. So just to recap what we covered in this particular session, we looked at what is meant by virtual work experience, the types of work experience, the advantages and the disadvantages of virtual work experience, the transferable skills that you can gain and also that are needed as well, and what they are, where you can find them, and you've had an opportunity to ask questions through the forum. So I'd just like to say a very big thank you. I wish you all the best with your virtual work experience endeavours, and I look forward to seeing you again here at LikeToBe. Thank you very much indeed.